So in this video, I just want to give a couple quick tips for those of you going through ego death transition and dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening, trauma stuff. And I'm talking from a point of view where nothing has really been successful in helping me feel better at all. So I'm talking from a point of view where I do understand where you guys are at. I understand that this is impossible. I understand that this is excruciating. I understand that it feels insurmountable right now. So I'm there. And I will, here's my word of advice. When you realize that scary feeling that you're all alone, that lonely feeling that you're like, you're all alone on this planet and nothing can really save you, quote unquote save you, because you realize your own mortality, and it's not a lot of fun, is it? But the only thing, the only thing that has been successful in even calming me down at all is complete and total surrendering to the process. And it's not an easy thing to do. Not at all. We want to hang tight and hold tight to our egos so much because the egos protected us from a lot of things. The egos protected us from facing our worst demons and our worst fears. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I'm being very somber and dramatic in this video, I know, but I want you guys to see my emotions right now and know that I'm totally putting myself out there. And I've thought a lot about starting a YouTube channel and thinking, well, it's probably not smart, because maybe in a couple years I'm going to be like, oh my god, I just talked about so much personal stuff on the internet where anybody could see. And but I realized that it's ego. And my ego wants to protect my identity and my, persona in front of other people, but an ego does not exist and never did, as we, in experiencing this phenomenon, kind of know already. But I do want to give you guys a couple tips of advice that I have gathered from this absolutely excruciating hell, basically, that I am in right now, and I know a lot of people are. Only thing that you guys can do right now is go with the flow. I know it's hard. I know you have those moments where you don't think you can take another second of this pain. I know that the air is gone, the lights are off, and you're stuck in a hole. I understand. I know. I know. And I wish that I could snap my fingers and make all of us transcended beings without having to go through this process, but I can't. All I can say is to hang on no matter how hard it gets. Hang in there. Surrender. And here's what I've kind of imagined. With this process comes a lot of anxiety, as our egos are panicking because the ego senses its demise. So the way that I have, learned to deal with that a little bit is actually forcing myself to imagine the worst case scenario. So whatever you guys are really afraid of, and for people going through this transition, a lot of us are becoming aware of our mortality, and that becomes a big fear, because death is the unknown. It's kind of scary, right? We all or our egos like to make us think we're not afraid of it. But it's pretty terrifying. We don't 100% know what's out there and where we're going to go and if we're going to be okay. And knowing that and thinking about that is really frightening. But I want to tell you guys, Imagine yourself gone from the world. Imagine what that's like. Even if you don't really have any idea, just try to imagine, just humor me. And that is what I mean by imagining the worst case scenario. Okay, so something bad happens to you, you leave the physical world. Imagine what that's like. Now, don't go too overboard where that's all you're thinking about, because that's unhealthy. But for most of you guys going through this, it's all you're thinking about anyway. Am I right? Probably, maybe, maybe not. From what I've gathered, this is kind of where it's at. So imagine that awful thing that you're so scared of happens to you. And if you're on this journey and you are imagining this, you'll most likely realize is that in worst case scenario, you are still okay. Reason being is our essence is energy, and energy cannot be, as we know, created nor destroyed. Our bodies can. Our bodies can be destroyed any day. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. We can't control it. Been doing a lot of sitting in silence, facing my demons, forcing myself, instead of running away from my pain, trying to cover it up with ego pursuits that are not going to help me and are completely, honestly useless right now. I have just accepted and actually tried to go through this process with full and total surrender, and that is the only thing you guys can do. I'm telling you right now. This is a battle you cannot face, that your ego cannot win. So you can't, when you're stuck in these awful things, I know it feels like you're in a nightmare that you cannot wake up from. If you guys listen to the song, it's by Plum. It's called Hang On. It's a really good song. It's got me through this a little bit. And some people find it helpful to relate to music. I do. Some people don't. So if you don't, then don't do that. But song Hang On by Plum has really got me through a lot of these excruciating dark nights. The soul, ego, death. What I'm going to tell you guys, since this video is getting kind of long again, surrender. What I mean by surrender, feel your pain. Cry, scream. Don't fight it. Feel it. Don't run away from it. Feel it. Let yourself go to the depths of your soul, the depths of your despair. It's not easy. I know. And surrendering isn't easy either, because we don't really completely know how to surrender. Just know that the ego is temporary, but you are forever, and don't forget that. I know it's a scary world out there, scary times. We're living in very dark times. But I want you guys to know that you're safe. I know you don't feel like that right now. I don't feel like that right now. But we are. We're safe. You're safe. Everything is okay. Everything is fine. I know you're saying, no, it's not. I'm freaking dying. I'm dying. What do you mean it's okay? I know. And it took a lot of persuasion for me to realize that. But we're all okay. It's hard. We don't know what's going to happen. Every day there's something else horrible happening in the news and happening in the world, and you can't control it, and that really sucks, because I know that you guys are probably really kind-hearted people and you want to save the world and help everybody else. But as a good friend told me once, you can't help anybody else until you help yourselves. Focus on you. Say no to things. When I was first going through this process, I forced myself to get up and go out with friends and drink and hang out with people and go to this and do this and do this, because I was trying to distract myself I thought the healthy thing would be to hang out with my friends. And yeah, of course, don't ignore your friends, but If you need to sleep, I know some of us don't have that luxury. I got a little, well, I hate to say the word lucky, but because my whole life fell apart, so I don't really feel that lucky right now. But I'll put it this way, I did get some time where I could just rest, write, sleep, cry. Um, I got that opportunity to do that. I know some of you don't have the luxury to just be in your despair, and you know you need to get up and get working. You might have kids, you have people to support, you have yourself to support, might be in your own place, whatever. I know that not everyone has the luxury of just taking time to heal all their wounds. I understand that. But when you can focus on you, do things for you, sleep if you can, eat right, eat healthy. Something that's helped me, stay away from caffeine. It's going to make you feel more depersonalized. Definitely rest. I know when you're going through these things, it feels like no matter how much sleep you get, it's never enough. But do it anyway. Journal. Write poetry. And I know when you're in these states of despair, nothing helps. Nothing works. Nothing can pull you up. Nothing can save you. Surrender to it. Accept your position as bad as it is, as much as it sucks. And I know that it sucks. Only way that you're ever going to heal the things you need to heal is to feel your pain. Let yourself suffer. Don't force, if you can help it. I know we all have situations where we need to go up, we need to go to work, things like that. I'm there with you guys, but when you can, let yourself just be. Don't run away from the despair. The more that you run away from it, the more it's going to catch up with you. It's going to be like all the time. Don't just let yourself feel what you're feeling. And the video is getting really long, so if you guys are still with me, that probably means that you needed to hear some of the stuff. So no caffeine. Sleep when you can. Do things that you like. Well, I know you probably don't like anything right now, but do things that are healthy for you. Use a creative outlet. Something else that's helped me a lot is honestly being on YouTube. Maybe it's not smart to make these videos and be so open and honest. Maybe that's a stupid idea. But I'm doing it anyway, and it's been helpful. It's therapeutic. Look up other people that are going through this on YouTube. You can type in Dark Night of the Soul, Spiritual Awakening, depression, whatever you want to do. There are so many people going through this right now. Stay away from the news. It's just going to make you feel even more panicked. Stay away from it. I know you don't live in a box. You hear about it. I know that's really difficult. Stay away from the news as much as you possibly can, because it's a cruel world out there. I got a couple hermit crabs. So if you feel like that feeling like you need to take care of something, get a pet. Be around people when you want to be around people. You need those alone times, but hearing other people talk, seeing their facial expressions is really helpful to pull you up a little bit up out of the hell that you're going through right now. So my advice is to just let yourself be, surrender. And I know surrendering is difficult. Throw up your hands in the air and say, you know what, this thing is beyond me. I cannot control anything. There's nothing that I can do. And I realize that. I realize that there's nowhere to go, nothing to do, back against the wall. I can't breathe. Feel like I'm suffocating. Know that you are growing. You're getting stronger. You're becoming your true self. You're becoming the person you've always been, that the ego has been masking all these years. So please just know that you're doing a good job. No, I know, like, the realization that the self doesn't exist is very difficult, but we are all an extension of Source anyway, right? So, I mean, there's nothing to fear but fear itself, and that's actually true, and I've had to learn that kind of the hard way. But for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, I sound crazy, but I know that there's many people going through this, and I know if you've stayed with me for 15 minutes, then you obviously, hopefully, can benefit from what I'm saying, and I wish you guys all luck. I'm sorry you're going through it. gets better. It'll get better. Things do. It'll clear up. The fog will clear. But for right now, just hang tight and understand that it's a process that you need to go through, and that there's a lot of people going through it. You're not alone. Many people are awakening to their true selves because it's 2015. There's a lots of changes happening in the world. It's a very cool time to be alive. Scary, but cool. So hang in there and love you guys. I know I don't know you, so to say I love you individually sounds stupid. But I do. I love, since we're all one, right? It's, loving each other is like loving ourselves. So I love you guys. Keep going. Don't fight it. Let it overtake you. Just be with it. All right? So hope you guys feel better.